In this superficial age, it's easy to feel out of place if you're someone with a pure heart. You might find yourself trusting too readily or seeing the world through overly rosy glasses. This inherent faith in humanity is a beautiful thing, but it can leave you vulnerable in a world that's often less than kind. This is what we call naivety, and it's a trait that can impact your life in ways you may not realize. So let's dive into the subtle signs that you might be too naive. Consider this. Do you find yourself giving numerous chances to people who have disappointed you repeatedly? It's a common trait for those of us with big hearts to keep trust alive, even in the face of constant disappointment. We believe in second chances, third chances, and sometimes fourth, fifth, and beyond. We hope, almost desperately, that people will change, that they'll rise to meet the faith we've placed in them. But what happens when they don't? When the cycle of disappointment continues unabated? This constant heartbreak can lead to unnecessary pain. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but not everyone we trust is deserving of it. It's essential to understand that forgiveness is a noble virtue, but allowing people to take advantage of our goodness time and again isn't. It's a subtle dance, knowing when to extend trust and when to pull back. Remember, forgiveness is noble, but letting people take advantage of your goodness isn't. Do you always believe that everyone has good intentions? If you're nodding your head, then you might be seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's a beautiful way to view life, isn't it? You're able to find the silver lining in every cloud and see the goodness in every individual. But let's hit the pause button for a moment. While it's admirable to believe in the inherent goodness of people, it can sometimes blind us to the harsh realities of life. Not every smile hides a warm heart, and not every helping hand is free of self-interest. It's crucial to remember that good and bad exist in equal measure in this world. So what's the takeaway? Should you stop believing in the goodness of people? Not at all. Instead, be aware. Understand that while many have good intentions, not everyone operates with kindness or honesty. A balance of trust and caution can help you navigate this complex world a little better. Do you find yourself opening up to new people quite quickly? You might be a person who wears their heart on their sleeve. Sharing your thoughts, feelings, hopes, and fears feels natural to you. You believe that opening up to others cements connections, builds trust, and fosters intimacy. And you're not wrong. Genuine vulnerability can indeed pave the way for meaningful relationships. But here's the flip side. Sharing too much too soon can also make you vulnerable to those who might misuse your trust. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But the reality is, not everyone you meet deserves to know the intricate details of your life story or your innermost feelings. You might end up providing ammunition to someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart. Balancing openness with discretion is key. The art of sharing involves not just knowing what to share, but also when to share and with whom. Remember, sharing is caring, but knowing when to share is self-caring. Do you avoid arguments and confrontations at all costs? If this question resonates with you, then it's possible you're navigating the world with an overly naive perspective. You see, confrontation, while uncomfortable, is often a necessary part of human interaction. It's how we assert our boundaries, express our needs, and negotiate compromises. However, if you're the type to sidestep conflict, preferring to keep the peace even when your own feelings or interests are at stake, then you might be making yourself an easy target. By avoiding confrontation, you inadvertently signal to others that your own needs and feelings can be compromised or even overlooked. This can, unfortunately, invite exploitation. Being conflict-averse is not inherently wrong. It's a trait that speaks volumes about your love for harmony and your dislike for discord. But it's crucial to remember that standing up for yourself, asserting your needs, and engaging in healthy confrontation is not an act of war. No, far from it. Remember, standing up for yourself is not an act of war, it's an act of self-respect. Do compliments light up your day and make you overlook the facts? Flattery, while often a genuine expression of admiration, can also be a cunning tool of manipulation. The danger lies in taking all compliments at face value, without a grain of skepticism. When we're naive, we tend to see flattery as proof of our worth, or validation of our actions, allowing it to blind us from the truth. It's a common pitfall to believe that if someone showers us with praise, they surely have our best interests at heart. However, manipulative individuals know this all too well, and use flattery to bend others' perceptions and actions to their will. It's essential to distinguish between sincere admiration and strategic flattery. A compliment should never be a smokescreen that obscures the facts or distorts reality. Compliments are pleasant, but they should never make you overlook the facts. Do you expect everyone to be as transparent and honest as you are? This is a common trait of a naive individual. It's a beautiful thing to be straightforward, to share your thoughts and feelings without hesitation. But here's the rub. Not everyone operates on the same wavelength. You see, honesty is a virtue, but it's not a universal one. Some people might withhold information or even lie outright for a variety of reasons. Maybe they're protecting their own interests, or perhaps they're just not as open as you are. And when these instances occur, you're often caught off guard, feeling betrayed or deceived. This doesn't mean you should stop being honest or start distrusting people. But it's essential to understand that people have different communication styles and levels of openness. So, while your transparency is commendable, expecting the same from everyone else can often lead to disappointment. Remember, honesty is a virtue, but expecting it from everyone can lead to disappointment. Do you find yourself always saying yes to help others, even if it's inconvenient for you? This is a common trait of someone who's too naive. Being the first to lend a hand or offer your time, regardless of your own needs, can seem like a noble trait. It shows your big heart and your willingness to go the extra mile for others. But it can also lead to some unintended consequences. Over time, this overgenerosity can lead to burnout. You're only human after all, and there are limits to what you can do. By constantly putting others first, you might be neglecting your own needs, leading to stress, exhaustion, and even resentment. Furthermore, being overly accommodating can sometimes result in others taking you for granted. When you're always the one saying yes, people might start to expect it, losing sight of the fact that it's a favor, not an obligation. Generosity is beautiful, but it should never come at the expense of your well-being. Do you often focus on the good in people, overlooking their red flags? This is a common trait of those who lean towards naivety. You see, red flags are warning signs, indicators that something might be amiss. They're like the universe's way of saying, hey, something's not quite right here. It's natural to want to believe in the goodness of others, to see their potential rather than their flaws. But it's also important to remember that not everyone has your best interests at heart. The world is a complex place, filled with a myriad of personalities, and not all of them are kind or trustworthy. Ignoring red flags can lead to heartbreak, disappointment, or even danger. It's vital to balance optimism with realism, to see people as they truly are, rather than who you wish them to be. Focusing on the good is important, but overlooking the bad can be harmful. Remember, it's not about being paranoid, but about being aware and protecting yourself. Do you grapple with toxic relationships or unfulfilled promises? A common trait of a naive person. You might hold on to hope, cling to a damaging friendship or a shattered dream. Each time you think letting go, it feels like surrendering, something you're not ready to do. But the truth is, holding on to these toxic situations can block your personal growth. It's akin to watering a dead plant hoping it would bloom, but often it just won't grow. You need to understand that letting go isn't giving up. It's growing. It's a sign of maturity, strength, and self-love. It's acknowledging your worth and realizing you deserve better. Letting go might be painful initially, but it's necessary for a happier, healthier you.